The next topic in module 3 is actuators, that is IO subsystems. Under IO subsystems, you have different types of actuators. You're going to study 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 type of actuators, such as light emitting diode, 7 segment display, stepper motor, piezo buzzer, relay, push button switch, and keyboard. Okay. So the first type is called as your light emitting diode, which is an output device. So basically your LED is used as a light indicator for various signals or situations. Okay. Example of using the LED is to indicate that the conditions such as your device is on, battery low, charging of battery, etc. So basically it is a PN junction diode with anode connected to your VCC and your cathode given to your ground. Okay. So the interfacing with respect to that of your port of your microprocessor or microcontroller is given by two different types or two different ways of interfacing. One is your direct anode connection to port, and other one is your direct cathode connection to the port. So here direct anode connection, your anode is connected to the port directly, whereas in the cathode connection, cathode is connected to the port directly, while your anode will be connected to your VCC. So in the case of cathode, direct cathode connection, your brightness can be increased. The second one is called as your 7 segment display. So a 7 segment display, it consists of normal 8 LEDs, right? Light emitting diodes. The 8 LEDs are, these are the segments A, B, C. Example, your best example is your calculator. Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So these are the 7 segments plus 1, that is for your decimal point. So your A will be your lowest significant bit, and point will be your MSB, most significant bit. Okay, it is used to display the alphanumeric character. So basically it is used under two configurations. One is common anode configuration and common cathode, just similar to that of your LED. So in this common anode configuration, so this is your diagram of your common anode configuration, where all your anode will be connected to your plus 5 volt or your plus VCC, whereas cathode will be connected to your port pins, whereas it is opposite to that of your common cathode. Okay, all your anode will be connected to your port pins of your microprocessor or microcontroller. Okay, the third type is called as your stepper motor. The stepper motor, you know that it is an electromechanical device. What is the difference between your stepper motor and DC motor is that DC motor has a continuous rotation, whereas in the case of stepper motor it gives a discrete rotation, that is at particular instant of time. So it is basically used in robotic control system, industrial applications, etc. So based on the coil winding of the two-phase stepper motor, it can be classified into two types. One is called as your unipolar and bipolar. Okay, so these are the various stepping modes of your two-phase stepper motor. So this gives you the diagram of your two-phase unipolar stepper motor. So what is the difference here? Unipolar means it has two windings per phase, whereas in the case of bipolar it has single winding per phase. In the case of unipolar, you have the direction of the rotation is controlled by changing the direction of the current flow, whereas in the case of your bipolar, for reversing the motor rotation, the current flow is reversed dynamically. Okay, so that is a difference. So these are the different stator winding details of a two-phase unipolar stepper motor. The stepping modes, 3 modes. One is your full step, wave step, and half step. Okay. So in the case of your full step, you have both the phases are energized simultaneously, whereas in the case of wave step, you have only one phase is energized at a time and each coil of the phase is energized alternatively. Whereas in the case of half step, it is a combination of both your wave and full step. Okay. So it has a highest torque and stability. So as you can see in this diagram, it is a combination of both your full step as well as your wave step. Okay. So these are the different stepping details of your stepping modes of your stepper motor, and the next topic is called as your relay. So what is meant by a relay? Relay is also an electromechanical device. It works on the principle of electromagnetic principle. So in embedded applications, it acts as a dynamic path selectors, okay, for signals and powers. So it contains a relay coil. So this will be a relay coil made up of insulated wire on a metal core and a metal armature with one or more contacts. Okay, so when the voltage is applied to the relay coil, the current flows through the coil, which in turn generates a magnetic field. So basically it is divided into three different configurations. So one is called as your single pole. So the three different configurations are single pole, a single throw normally open, single pole, single throw normally close, and the third one single pole double throw. Okay, so what is meant by single pole single throw normally open is that one path for information flow. Okay, there is only one path, and either it will be open or closed for the normal condition. So for the first type, it is for the normal condition it will be open, and when it is energized it goes into the closed condition, whereas in the second case it is normally closed. It is normally always in the closed condition. When it is energized it goes into the open condition. And the last one is called as your single pole double throw, right? So there are two paths of information flow, whereas in these first two it has only a single path. So the next type is called as your piezo buzzer. So piezo buzzer is used as an audio indicator. Okay, there are two types. So first type is called as your self-driving, and the second one is called as external driving. Next one, what you're going to study is your push button switch. Okay, so push button switch, yeah, it mainly has, it's an input device. Okay, so it mainly has two configurations. So push to make and push to break. So what is meant by your first type? Normally it is open and it makes a circuit contact when it is pushed or pressed. Second one, to break, normally it is closed in the operation and breaks the circuit when it is pushed or pressed. For example, if you want to use a GPS system for a small project, then you can go for this push button switch. Okay, and so the last type what you're going to study is called as your keyboard. Keyboard is also an input device. Okay, so if the demand is for using large number of keys, you can go for using the matrix keyboard. For example, if you want to interface 16 keys, then it is possible by means of using 8 lines. Okay, so 16 keys are arranged in 4 columns and 4 rows. So this will show you the diagram of your matrix keyboard, and it works on the principle of scanning technique. So you know that the 4 rows and 4 columns which are connected to the port of the microprocessor or microcontroller. So this resistors are used for limiting the current flow. Okay, circuit of your relay driving circuit, which I forgot to mention it. So it is normally a transistor driven relay circuit. Okay.